insurance companies, what they all agreed on, that's the way it is. And individual family products are not guaranteed issue. What are some bad things that can happen to you in the individual market? Well, the worst thing is you can be declined. The second worst thing is you can be rated up, charged more than the standard health premium. Third, you could have a condition that is not covered, it's rider. The insurer is willing to cover you for everything else, but they're going to rider your apnea. They're going to rider your sleep apnea and not cover anything related to that. Do you want a plan with big holes in it? I don't think so. I wouldn't want a plan with big holes in it. Well, if you're only able to buy an individual health plan, if you have health conditions that are bad, my advice to you is get into a group. If you're a business owner, start a group. If you're not employable, but you're marryable, marry somebody who's got group coverage. Find a way around it. Okay. Cool. By the way, because of these landmines, a good agent will counsel with you on the phone. And we can do what's called a pre-screen in the industry. Rather than have you fill out an official application with the possibility of these bad things happening, we can put on a sheet of paper, put in an email what the concerns are. It goes to an underwriter. We don't reveal your name, we put initials. Instead of putting John Snell's conditions, I put the conditions for JS. The underwriter doesn't know who that is. We put your date of birth, we put your height, weight, and then we tell them what your conditions are. And then we say, is this person acceptable? If they're acceptable, are you going to rider anything? And if you're going to rider them, are you going to rate them up? The underwriter responds, and we know then what's going to happen. And we can counsel you and tell you which insurer will accept you without nicking you and which ones won't. If you use an agent, you're going to be safer than if you just go blindly to einsurance.com and start typing in and waiting to hear. You need to work with an agent who can help guide you through those problems. The pre-screens are not binding, but they're pretty close to it if the input going in was accurate. All right, here are the decline conditions. You've got an active cancer, you're not going to be accepted. You got a serious heart condition, you're going to be declined. Do you have diabetes, insulin dependent, or otherwise? Even if it's just oral medication, you're going to be declined. Are you pregnant? So sorry, you're not going to get an individual health plan in Georgia. You can get it under a group from day one. Oh, well, you're not pregnant, but you're going to adopt a child? Sorry, they won't accept you because they don't know the health of the child. Morbid obesity. I'm a pretty smart guy. I was on a call once. I'm going to tell a story that doesn't reflect well on me. This happened to me a couple years ago. I'd helped a lady with some life insurance, and she had her niece living with her. And I don't know what state of mind I was in. I just did not see the forest for the trees. This young lady needed health insurance, so I filled out an application with her. And I was shocked. 3 days later, I got it back from Blue Cross, and she was declined. I thought, how could they possibly decline her? There was nothing wrong with her. Well, you dummy. Of course there wasn't anything wrong with her, except she was 5'2" and weighed 290 pounds. Oh, you mean they have height-weight charts? Oh, yeah. Yeah, those height-weight charts will tell you when you're declined. So I learned a quick lesson. I can't just go out and write information down without thinking about it. Okay. Number 8, overusage of the medical system. I see this with a lot of female applicants. They just have a series of bad luck and a lot of usage. Maybe not real serious stuff, but a lot of usage, they'll be declined. So sorry.
How can they know if there's a female overuse the medical system?
Either gender, but I see this more frequently with females. Because females statistically use the health system more than males. Males really believe, we believe we're invincible. I'll be honest, I have aches and pains. I do not go to the doctor about it. I wait to see if the ache and pain goes away. Usually it does. Okay, I'm a smart agent. I wanted to change my health coverage. I applied at Blue Cross January of this year. I didn't do a pre-screen. I play tennis. I had tennis elbow about a year ago. And I had my doctor prescribe me an oral steroid. They work good on tennis elbow. I took that medication for less than a week. I put it on the application. It had not been fully a year when I applied since I stopped the medication. It's almost a year, but not quite. Do you know Blue Cross wanted 20% more premium because I took 10 pills not quite a year ago? Yes, they did. And I did not take that application. I said, by golly, I'll wait another month or two and I'll reapply. Okay? So it happens to the best of us. All right, Pre-X, this is also problematic. Don addressed it. Pre-X is no longer applicable for children. But remember what I said, the law of unintended consequences. You cannot get a child-only policy in Georgia, probably with any carrier except maybe for Kaiser. And why they will write it, I don't know. But if you want to cover a child, you at least got to have one adult on the policy, a mom or dad, somebody. Okay. Pre-existing conditions. How much more time do I have, Jimmy?
5 more minutes?
5 more minutes, okay. We'll wrap it up. If you have continuous prior coverage and a break no longer than 63 days, that's federal law, that's a magic number, 63 days. There's no problem with coverage of Pre-X in the individual market as long as those Pre-X conditions are not declinable or riderable type conditions. So, let's say, like myself, I wanted to change coverage. I currently have an Aetna plan and I wanted to go to Blue Cross. Anything that I had been treated for of any significance and I disclosed on that Blue Cross application, if they didn't rider it, if I got sick from that again because I had continuous coverage, they had to cover it. If you don't have prior coverage, you'll have a 6-month to a 1-year wait after you're under the plan to get rid of the Pre-X look-back. So keeping coverage and not having a break longer than 63 days is important. Now the group market, again, can be an exception because many HMO and point-of-service plans don't have a Pre-X feature or concern. You got to be careful. Some of the newer HMO and point-of-service plans that are open access do have a Pre-X period. But again, my point is, if you have a serious condition, the best place for you is under a group health plan. And if you're not under a group health plan and you're a business owner and you have employees, this is one way of solving your health problem and getting good insurance. Okay. So we've talked about the 6 rules to follow in the group market. We've talked about warnings in the individual market. And now we're going to talk about Medicare. And we're going to stay here very quickly. As you get ready to turn 65, typically you'll be in contact with Social Security. And you're going to be consulting with them